Greetings, YouTube. There's an article in the Huffington Post that deals with a list of 14 wishes of progressive people in America. So I'm going to read down the list and see if I agree with many of these things. And my friend Greg was nice enough to give me an amendment to it, which I shall also discuss. Okay, 1, marijuana should be legal. Yes, I would in fact make marijuana completely legal, and I would decriminalize all drugs. All of them. Drug addiction, for the people who become addicted, should be considered a medical, not a criminal issue. 2, the minimum wage should be much, much higher. I agree 100% with that one. If it had kept track with the cost of living, it would be around $17 an hour. And if it had kept track with employee worker efficiency, it would be around $21 an hour. Businesses are robbing us blind. 3, there should be a maximum pay rate, too. I agree with this. I think that there should be a pay rate, and it should be tied to the minimum of a company. So the CEO of a company should be able to make X times what the minimum worker in a company makes. Now that X times, I would put it at 100 myself, and that's, I think, more than reasonable. Nobody needs to make more money than that. I know people are going to tell me that I'm a communist for saying that, but, that's life. 4, every person should earn an income. I agree with this partially. As my friend Greg says, that he thinks that there should be a $32,000 credit, which could be applied to either taxes or as an income supplement. So if you make less than that, you would get the difference. And if you make more than that, that would be considered a tax credit. Vacation should be a basic human right. Correct. People need to rest and recreate. And Europeans have figured out that a well-rested workforce is a happy, functioning workforce. 8, assault weapons should be banned. No! I believe they should be registered and licensed. And we already ban automatic weapons unless you have a special license, which, again, that whole licensing thing. But I am not comfortable with only 3 groups in the world, in my nation, having access to firearms. Those groups being the police, the military, and criminals. Not happy with that. So that's just me. I know that makes me a bad progressive. 7, public universities should be free. I think they should be completely free. And I've said this in the past. I think you should go through K through college. If you want to go beyond college, then you're on your own. But a well-educated population is a benefit to everyone. When I say free, I mean, of course, taxpayer funded. There's no such thing as free anything. I understand that. 8, the government should support artists. I agree they should. We should have some kind of national artistic grants, more of them, so that more artists can do great works that benefit society in many intangible ways. 9, big corporate boards should be more diverse. I agree. How you implement that, I'm not sure. But a greater degree of diversity being shown in the corporate boards of America would be a good thing, both demographically and as along sex lines. We need more women out there. We need more minorities. All corporate boards should not be an all-white boys club. 10, cancer patients shouldn't miss out on pay. I think that should go to any debilitating disease, as my friend Greg points out. And I think that should. If you should not be punished because you got a crappy hand in life and were given a disease. We should not just be throwing people away, and that's what happens in America. We just throw them away. No one should work in the dark. They're talking about natural light, which is a nice idea. It's not all that practical. I work in a factory. There are 0 windows other than doors in my company. In the building I work in, there are no windows. There are windows in the doors. I can walk to a door and look out a window if I want, but that's it. And there's no practical way of putting windows in. They just become points where water is going to leak in. It's a factory. I just live with the fact that I'm working under artificial lights all day long. I don't mind. I am nocturnal by nature. 12, parents should get time off to watch their kids grow up. Yes! 13, preschool should be available to all. Yes! People always say about family values. Those are family values. If we actually believed those things, that's how we make sure we spend our tax dollars. Making sure parents can raise their kids and making sure every kid gets a preschool program. Because they have shown conclusively that preschool programs help people through their entire lives. It is an incredible improvement. And yet, we discount them, and those are always under attack by conservatives in America. And remember, when I say conservative, I mean Republican. Most Democrats, the Tea Party, and Libertarians. 14, of course, soup slurping must be outlawed. I could care less about soup slurping, really. It doesn't bother me in the least. I have been known to drink out of soup bowls, and I'm okay with that. What we need to wipe out, though, is thank you notes. Thank you notes need to be burned from the face of the earth. The memory of thank you notes needs to be burned from the face of the earth. Now, my friend Greg went a little further, and he came up with a few more ideas of his own, and I'm going to run down those as well. 15, National Universal Single-Payer Healthcare System that covers accidents, disability insurance with a dental, mental health, vision, and hearing benefit. Yes. 16, downsize military spending. Yes, yes, and yes again. We have an obscenely large military. We need to make it smaller. We need to make it cost less. We need to put the money where it belongs and say, stop trying to police the planet. Do things with the UN. Other than that, stay home. We don't need to be doing the things that we're doing. We don't need as many foreign bases. We don't need as many people in the military. We need to have more accountability and better accounting in the military, so we're not paying huge amounts of money for things that should cost a lot less. We need to have no-bid contracts tossed out the window. 17, subsidize the post office and Amtrak. Now, Amtrak I can understand. Post office, don't subsidize it. Stop thinking of it as a business. It is not a business. It is a service provided by our tax dollars for Americans. We already subsidize it. We buy stamps. That's a subsidy. We subsidize the post office already. We don't need to be making them try to earn a profit. No. Just deliver the bloody mail. A constitutional amendment for gender, sex equality, right to privacy, and an end to corporate personhood. Yes, yes, and yes. Farm system reform, promoting organic food, family farming, and local production, biodiversity, etc. I agree with that somewhat. I think that, for example, we need to actually have a legal definition of what organic means, and we need to make sure that we're applying these types of definitions in a consistent manner. But I think that there should be an improvement to our food system. I agree with that part. 12, intellectual property reform. Yes, every single time there has been a technical change in history in America, we have changed intellectual property reform. We did it when there were player pianos. We did it when the radio came out. We did it when the TV came out. We did it when VHS came out. We now need to do it that the world is a digital environment. We need to make, for example, change copyright so it only has a lifespan of 25 years. That's it. After 25 years, that thing goes into the public domain. Books, music, movies, software, everything. 25 years after its publication, it goes into the public domain. You only get to make profit for that time period. If you can't make a profit in 25 years, then it probably wasn't worth anyone's time anyway. 21, guarantee of basic human needs, shelter, clothing, food, water, sanitation, healthcare, education, reasonable expectations of safety, education, and section, all on the tax dollar, and I agree with that as well. 22, reverse the trends of global warming, and he lists a number of things that we could do to do that, and I also agree with that. We need to, though I would couch it in the terms of climate change, because it's not just global warming. We are pumping more energy into the system because of global warming, but it's causing climate change. And some of those climate changes are going to be colder, and some of them are going to be hotter, so it's not just the whole planet's getting warmer. It's just you're pumping more energy into the system, so you're going to get wider and wider variations everywhere. It's going to be chaos, folks. We're seeing it now. It's going to get worse. 23, make science research a national priority, including a reinvigoration of and well-funded space program. Correct. We need to do that. We need to make sure we're putting more into science than we do in America, and we need to make sure that school boards stop listening to social conservatives who are trying to destroy science programs. 24, promote world peace, universal human rights, liberty, democracy, and the rule of righteous law. Oppose dictatorships, organized crime, and corruption. Now, I would agree with that, and that means we need to start at home. For example, campaign finance reform. And 25, promote smaller families. I have to agree that as well. I personally feel that if you have more than one child, that's questionably ethic, and if you have more than two, that's immoral. And that's going to be, people are going to take that very harshly, but that's how I feel. We need to control the population of the planet, because human population is the driving force behind so many problems we have in this world. If the population were smaller, we'd have more resources for everyone. I firmly believe that every single person born into this world has a right to the share of the resources of this planet. But the fewer of us there are, the more of our share we will have. And the better off we will be overall. We will put less wear and tear on the planet, and we will have more for us and for our children in the future. So we need to lower the population rates. And to further that method, I have no kids, nor will I ever have kids. So I'm doing my part. So go read the article, see what you have to say, and do you have any corollaries to it, like my friend Greg did. I'd be interested in hearing.